KFUG Community Radio, and Jimi Hendrix right there. I hear he could play guitar, Jimi Hendrix, and Burning of the Midnight Lamp, one of my favorite. That's like one of the first Hendrix riffs I ever learned. Paul Critz with you, Community Service, the show. It is 10:30. You're tuned to KFUG Community Radio, and thank you, Gordon. I've got Gordon Pfeffer here in the studio live. He dropped by to discuss the triathlon that's coming up. But first, before we get into all that, how you doing today, Gordon?
I'm doing good. I appreciate being here, Paul. It's great to be here and see K-Fug live.
That's it. We're going to have, we'll put in webcams and stuff so people can experience all the glory of the Fug House. We've got, I wanted to ask too, it's been a while, how are the girls doing? I think last time I saw your daughters, they were still both in high school. It might have been like the last senior photos I did or something, or family photos way back.
That's going back a ways now. They're doing awesome. They're both living out of town, and I'm a grandparent.
What?
Times 3. So,
oh my God!
Yeah. So they're doing well, working, taking care of kids, living the dream, as we say. So they're staying real busy.
And as a parent, that's what you want, living the dream. Good job. Well, all right. So let's get into this. I took part in a triathlon maybe about 15 years ago, and really had a blast. It was really good. Just describe the process. It's a sprint triathlon. It's not like the 100-mile Ironman thing or anything. This is about the shortest thing you can do and still be a triathlon, correct?
Oh, absolutely, Paul. You know what? This triathlon, it's pretty easy for most people to get into it and to be participants. The basic sprint triathlon consists of a 500-yard swim, which is 20 laps in the pool.
Okay.
Not too daunting. A 12-mile bike ride, and the bike ride runs a good part along Pebble Beach, so it's beautiful. And then we have a 3.1 mile run. So,
which is what, like a 5K? Is that what?
Yeah, it's basically a 5K. Wow. So it's for anybody that's in reasonably good shape, you can with some amount of training cross the finish line, which in any athletic event, that's what it's all about. Hey, you crossed the finish line, you are a winner.
You did. You did it exactly. Yeah. It was a lot of fun doing that. And it starts with the swim, right? That's the first thing you do.
Yeah.
And then you jump out and you run out and you get all wet. You're all wet and you hop on your bike, right?
Oh, you do. Yeah. Generally, you put on your shirt and a pair of shorts. Obviously, put on your shoes and off you're going. Yeah.
And how far was the bike? It's 11 plus miles.
12 miles.
12 mile.
Yeah.
I remember it going down. Does it change ever from year to year, or is the course the same?
I think it's basically the same. Where you head through the back streets up to Pebble Beach, along Pebble Beach, and if I remember correctly, it's down towards the high school. You hang a Yui and you come on back.
And come back the way you came.
Yeah. And then the run is super awesome too, because it takes you along the new Harbor Trail for a good part of the run.
Where? How's the run? Where is that now? Where are you talking about?
I'm not all that familiar with that, Paul, but you basically take off and you run along over the new bridge along the RV park there out towards the harbor. And
wow, all right.
I couldn't tell you the exact course. That's not my department at this point.
No, but the fact that it's different, because it was just like a time and a half around Beachfront Park or something like that when I did it, or 2 times around. I forget what it ended up being, or 3 times. I forget what it was. But we just ran around the park for 3.1 miles. But this one will stretch out, and you'll go across Elk Creek toward the harbor and back?
Absolutely.
Right on.
One of the things that we hear from, especially out-of-town participants, is like, this is the most beautiful course that we have that they've ever been on. And, and of course, as local people around here, we get to enjoy and appreciate this all the time.
Right.
But when you're from out of the area, it's like, oh my gosh, I'm riding on the bluffs up above the ocean and running, along the bay and the harbor. Oh wow, they're thrilled about.
I remember.
That.
Oh, I'm sorry. Ron Cole basically saying the same thing about disc golf, because we have this disc golf course here in Beachfront Park, and everybody's, disc golf, and he's like, that's great. But look around you. There's no other disc golf park in the state that looks like this,
Yeah,
that has a lighthouse looking at it.
absolutely. We get a fair amount of people from the Rogue Valley, some from Humboldt, of course, but especially the out of towners. They come here, and they're thrilled because it's cool here.
Yeah,
they can actually get out there and perform at top level because they aren't sweltering in 110-degree weather. So that's another big plus for us.
Yeah, that's a plus. You might have to deal with that bike ride, at least in one leg with the wind. But typically early in the morning, you don't have that anyway. Like it'd be conditions like this out here. So
yeah. Fortunately, the winds aren't that prevalent in mid-August.
Because a 30-mile-an-hour north wind would make that bike ride kind of harder than it would be.
I've done that run towards Point St. George for the 4th of July run, and it's like leaning into a 30-mile-an-hour wind is not what you want to be doing. That's crazy. But
so how many participants do you typically get? Do you expect each year?
Well, on average, we get about 125 participants. We're expecting a little bit more this year. We've been on hiatus for a couple of years because of COVID. And there seems to be a lot of registrations at this point, and so we're getting some real good interest. And we're excited about it. So we're professionally timed, so we're able to do splits and come up with fast finisher results, which is really nice. Everybody's has a chip that's embedded in, I believe, the bib, which seems to be pretty common.
Ooh, that's
days.
new. I had no idea. So you're tracked basically. So I mean, what's the chip for? Is it for timing, or is it?
It's basically
make sure you're not cheating.
No, it doesn't GPS you, but it looks at your split times and your total times, and so we're able to provide people with all that information. One of the nice things about our event is that everybody that participates gets a finisher medal and a ribbon, and they're real nice. And then the top finishers in each of the different events we're going to have some really nice engraved beer mugs, and everybody else will get a first, second, or third place in their age group awards. So so there's a nice event afterwards, and we're going to have food, a little bit of food, some beverages. Alexandria Farms is providing us some with after race refreshments, chocolate milk, vanilla. And,
nice.
And we'll have a variety of the other after race snacks to help people re-energize.
A refreshing glass of chocolate milk. I can see that.
It feels good after putting out that much energy.
Right.
So,
oh my God. So I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. What were you going to say?
I was going to get into specifics of it, but actually, before I do that, I wanted to say you mentioned off mic before we started that this is the first year that you've gotten a corporate sponsor for the. We're really appreciative of Oak Valley Rancheria and Casino because they decided to support our event in a major way. They're our corporate sponsor. They donated generously, and we want to thank them specifically for that, for helping to offset the cost of the timers and in food, beverage. We supply all the athletes with a lot of bling. A lot of bling? Really?
Yeah. Well, for example, Rose Peasley at Remax Realty donated some nice little bags. We are all the athletes that have pre-registered by July 15th, and most of the athletes or participants that register afterwards will get a really nice T-shirt.
Oh wow! Okay.
And
right.
so, I mean, everything's expensive these days.
Yeah, that's not cheap.
And our registration fees are really pretty reasonable. An adult registration, if you're over 19, the registration for the event is $55, and we have costs with pools, insurance. There's it's permits. It's never ending, but of course, a lot of details.
I don't. So okay, this is a nuts and bolts. I know this is getting away. This is just something occurred to me, and it's kind of running an organization like KFUG. This is the kind of thing where my mind goes. I imagine liability insurance for something like a triathlon has got to be through the roof.
It's not as bad as you think, but it's still, it's one more piece that is part of many pieces. So yeah, that's where the corporate sponsorship and we've had some really generous outpouring from a lot of sponsors. And if you go on our website, you'll get to see the names of the sponsors, and when you participate and get your fabulous Crescent City Triathlon T-shirt, you'll have the names of the sponsors on the back. So we're very appreciative. Hey, Paul, one of the things about the triathlon that I really want to impress upon the local audience is that this is an event for all levels. If you don't think you're able to do the complete triathlon yourself, you're welcome to form a team.
Right.
And it can be a 2-person team, or it can be a 3-person team. So if you're not a swimmer, but you want to, get a swimmer and do the bike and run yourself, or get 3 people and each one do a segment of the triathlon, perfectly set up. So we have team events. We also have a duathlon as part of our event. And the duathlon is basically a 1-mile run, a 12-mile bike, and a 3.1-mile run after your bike ride. So you do 2 runs basically, and a bike ride in the middle. And so, because not everybody's a swimmer, and so that would help people that are the non-swimmers out. And hey, if you can run and you can bike, you can do the duathlon. We also have some great kids events. We have 4 different classifications of kids events, and it starts out for 5 to 6-year-olds, all the way to 11 to 12-year-olds, and they're all. It's a swim, bike, run too, but they're all at ability levels that is going to ensure that kids of that age group are going to be successful. And hey, what a great thing to get going as a parent. Get your kids out, get them to the pool, get them out on a bike ride, start doing some small runs. I mean, if you're a 5 and 6-year-older, you only have to do a 50-yard swim. That's one time up and back on the pool.
1 lap on the pool.
1 lap. A 1-mile bike ride and a 1/4-mile run. So, and
all of that happens right there locally in the park. So
absolutely, it happens after our big, right after the triathlon. They usually start approximately about 11 o'clock for the kids event. So we kind of do a 2-pronged event. We'll do the triathlon, duathlon start, which starts at 8:30 on August 21st. You have to be there at 8 o'clock for a required safety meeting. We have pre-registrations, a day of race registrations starting actually at 6:30 in the morning.
Wow, you can show up and get in? Does it cost any more to do that day of?
It does cost a little bit more. After July 31st, this $55 registration goes up to $65.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'd really like to encourage one thing that we don't see as much of that I really think would be fabulous is to see young people getting into this event. I mean,
are there not a lot of teens, not a lot of young adults involved?
Not as we'd like to see a lot more. I don't really know why. Maybe we don't get the word out enough, but to see teens and young adults out there, it would be super, super awesome. The registration for 19 and younger for the triathlons is $40.
Okay.
So it's pretty reasonable. And if anybody's been out on events like this, it's really unheard of that you could actually pull off a triathlon and register for it for only $55.
Yeah, that's
some of these events are hundreds of dollars. So we try to keep it really affordable for families and for young people. Exercising and getting out there and being outside and doing an athletic event, it's so good for your head. It's good for your body. It's good for your head. It keeps stress levels down. It's all you talk about healthy lifestyles, and I know KFUG's out there promoting healthy lifestyles at all levels. Right,
Thank
Paul?
you. Yes. Be healthy, kids.
Yeah, that's it. So, but getting out there and having an event like the triathlon out in the future, it's really super good motivation to get out there and do something 2 or 3 days a week that's good for your body, good
You
for
mean as
your
far
head.
as training and being a triathlete, preparing for the yearly trial? Yeah, exactly.
You know, I mean, I love to run and bike, but unless I have something to kind of help motivate me out in the future, this gets in the way, that gets in the way. It's knowing it's there and that you want to cross that finish line and doing your personal best, it helps get you in better shape. So
is that guy? It was his name, Michael Pigg. Is he still involved?
He shows up on a regular basis. For the event, and actually, not only has he been running in the past at the event, but his kids are now.
Are they now? Yeah.
Running in the event, and they're good too. Yeah,
Like him, because he was like the Michael Jordan of this thing when I was back when I did it like that. It was like he always won.
Yeah, he was world class.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think he's still could place, in the first or second place categories.
Right.
I'm guessing. We've been out for a few years, and so I'm sure he's still training hard.
Yeah, I don't think he's
like we all are.
He's not sitting around getting the pandemic weight, right? He's not. Yeah.
Oh, sure.
I did. I came in because he's older than I am, I think. Right? I forget how this worked out. When I did it, I came in third in my age category. I have no idea how many people were even there in my age category. It might only have been 3. But I commented to somebody afterwards, I came in third, but this next year, because I don't know if I was 39 at the time or what, I'd graduate into the 40s and I'd be in Pig's category. I'd be in the same category as Pig. And the person I was talking to said, "You're never going to be in the same category as Pig."
Ouch. That hurts. But the truth of the matter
truth
is,
hurts,
yes.
right? So, how many people put this on? How many people are out there telling you where to run and bike and swim and stuff?
Great question. We are out there and have upwards of 30 plus volunteers, and we're always in need of more volunteers. We have to have lap counters in the lanes at the pool, so there's a large group of people there to make sure that the swimmers are doing their exact amount of laps. We have people in the transition zones, and then we like to put people on all the corners for the run and for the bike ride, and that's a long ways.
Yeah.
The bike ride's going in one direction, the run's going in a different direction. So if you're not a triathlon person, you for whatever reason don't want to participate as an athlete that day, come on out and volunteer for us. And you can contact us at the Crescent City Triathlon.com. I can give you a phone number at some point here, and we can you could call KFUG and be happy to, I'm sure they'd be happy to pass on the information, but you can call our race director, Russ Burnett, at 707-951-1180, and he'll get you dialed in as a volunteer. It's actually a lot of fun. You can be there on the sidelines, directing traffic, helping athletes and participants go the right direction. It's really frustrating when you're out there on a bike ride trying to do your personal best and you take a wrong turn on your bike.
Right. Yeah.
It's annoying.
Now, do you, I remember, it's not spray paint. Do you guys chalk up kind of the road a little bit saying this way? I remember there being something on the...
Generally, we have chalk, and then I know for the runs we have signs that are put on PVC piping that are stand signs, and so we have it pretty well marked out, but we're always in need of more volunteers. The more volunteers we have, the smoother everything goes, and people are feeling good because when they come to a corner, they're being told, hey, turn right here, turn left there, go. And if there's any traffic, they're helping to to work with the cars and to keep everybody safe.
When I came to the turnaround out by the high school on the bike, because I think it involved like going around a block there in the neighborhood there, and I would have been totally lost and completely just would have I just kept riding off until I got to Fort Dick probably until but the volunteers like, nope, this way. Okay, thank you. They kept me on. Very, very necessary and very appreciated volunteers keeping me on track with the bike ride when I did that. So yeah, that's an important function.
Yeah, it's extremely important, and we'll have really cool Crescent City Triathlon volunteer hats for everybody that volunteers, so that you'll be well marked and get to take the hats home with you to enjoy for another year.
And then you can just go out freelance and stand there and point and give directions to people and no one will question you. Oh, you've got the hat on.
Yeah, you must know what you're doing, of course.
Yeah, right?
So, yeah, absolutely.
So, Gordon, is there anything that you meant to get mentioned that we have? We'll recap here, and I want to recap with dates and, what's happening. But if there's anything else that you meant to get to that we haven't gotten to.
I think about covered it all. If you're interested in being a participant, you can see our flyers, our posters around town. It has a QR code on it, and you can take a camera shot of that, and it'll direct you right to our website, where you can print out an application, or on the website you can go on to it'll have a link to an online registration website. Either way is fine with us. August 21st, the race starts at 8:30 for the adult triathlon, which is a bit of a misnomer because you can be 12 years old and run that triathlon if you're able to.
Okay.
The duathlon starts at the same time. The kids' triathlon is starting approximately 11 o'clock. After our participants have finished, we'll have our award ceremony. Oh, I'm glad you mentioned other things, because we have a donation drawing that will be happening during the award ceremony or immediately after. We have some really, really nice prizes for the drawing, and one being a bike that's been donated by the former Backcountry Bikes, Tom and Nan Latimer.
Wow.
Which we had from the last triathlon that we weren't able to have. But,
okay, it's been sitting around.
It's not rusty.
Okay,
it's still in good shape. It's never been used, and it's a great Trek bike.
I bet.
We have a nice drill driver, a drill bit set, couple of beautiful bags from Starbucks coffee, just for starters at this point for our drawing. But if you're interested in a chance to win that beautiful Trek bike, well, stick around for the awards ceremony.
So can anybody enter that drawing, or is it just for the participants?
Oh, no, anybody.
Okay.
It's a donation drawing, so if you're a mom, dad, spectator of any sort, come and buy 10 tickets or whatever you'd like to buy. And,
right on.
Get your chance to win that new bike. So, amongst other nice prizes.
So all of that starts, it's 8:30 in the morning, and I remember there being heats because you have to funnel everybody through the limited capacity of the pool. All the participants have to get their 10 laps in.
That's right. There are heats. Generally, we have 7 heats that start offset in the pool. Commonly, we'll have our fastest swimmers, bike riders, runners go first, because that way they're moving quick through the pool and the laps and the bike ride. And there's some people that are, there is some competition out there. It's especially with top athletes. For the most part, they're just like you and I,
right?
So,
just doing it.
We're trying to cross the finish line.
That's the
best
winning.
we can. But, so there'll be a number of heats, and so it's a process of getting you lined up as far as your actual start time in the pool.
Okay.
And at that point, once you get in the pool, it's all on you, baby.
And the helpful people who count your laps, and then when you're getting close and they stick the floaty down so you can see it in front of you, like, it's time to stop. Oh,
Yeah,
okay, thanks.
yeah.
I would have kept going. Somebody saved me from doing additional laps. I lost count when I was running or swimming. And,
Easy to do.
Yeah.
That's why we have the lap counters for sure.
So the 21st of August. Registration, you can register right up until the day of the event. You can show up and register then.
Absolutely.
July 21st, though, that registration will cost $65. Or not July 21st. Is it the end of the month?
It's the 30th.
The 30th, sorry.
End of the month.
Today's the 21st. That's where I am. Then registration is $55. It goes up to $65 at the end of the month, and will stay that too. But still, if you show up day of, it's still only going to cost you $65 to register for this.
Yeah, and for the people that are in town and locals, if you want to come the evening before, if you want to come on Saturday, the day before on the 20th, from 5 to 7 at the pool. You can pick up your registration.
Okay.
You can either register or pick up your packet then. So. So we kind of try to make it as easy for people as possible.
Yeah, they do everything for you and make it easy, except run the race for you. You got to do that on your own, or with friends too. I like the idea of taking it and getting a couple of other people together and going, okay, I got the swimming, you get the running, you get the biking. I like that idea. It's a nice sort of group.
And you get to kind of enjoy the whole race day energy, which is super exciting. And there's finisher and award medals for teams also. There's not as many teams, so I'm pretty sure if you're a team member and you cross that finish line,
you're in the money.
You're going to probably get an award of some sort. So yeah,
I loved it. I loved the time doing it. I haven't done it since, but maybe it's time to think about that. Just to get out and do something like that. The time I did it, my favorite memory of it actually involves my family. At one point, I was coming back around the backside between, or not the backside, I guess it's the front side of the pool, where you take off for the bikes, right, between the pool and the cultural center.
Yeah, the transition zone there for the bikes.
Going through the transition zone, my kids are standing there with signs that their mom had them, make up, right? Go dad, good luck, whatever like that. But they'd used old cardboard that had been used for other signs. So as I come around the corner, my youngest Avi, who at the time I think was like 4 or 5, is standing there with the sign says car wash.
Flip the sign.
I laughed for a lap about that. That was so much fun. Well, Gordon, thank you very much for coming in and discussing this. We're going to put together a PSA and we'll air it for the next month, right up until the day of. Folks interested in more information or actually getting the forms you need to apply and register for this race, it is at Crescent City Triathlon, all one word, .com.
Absolutely.
This phone number you mentioned that is your race coordinator, you said?
Yeah, the race director.
The race director. Is this a good informational number or is this for specific questions?
It's for specific questions.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
I think you're going to get all the information you need or want on the website.
Okay.
If you're a volunteer, call Russ up and, you can get lined up with any additional information you might need to feel comfortable. Otherwise, you can show up at 7:45 on the day of the event, and we'll put you to work. There's no doubt about that.
And so, for clarification, that number then is for folks who wanted to volunteer. That's why we got this. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
that number again,
primarily.
if you would like to volunteer, give Russ a call, 707-951-1180. And I don't know, maybe we should go out and film something for Persephone that day. Get out and get some triathlon. We could do a training montage.
Hey, my final word here is just try it.
Oh, there you go. Right on. Just try it because you can do it.
Absolutely.
It is doable.
It's a fun family event. So, yeah, look forward to seeing everybody out there. And thanks, Paul, for your time.
Hey, thank you, Gordon. And yeah, good luck. Are you running or are you standing around?
Oh, I think I'll be in the bike transition zone, moving people across the timer chip line and getting people moving out into the world after their swim.
Do you ever get a chance to do this triathlon?
I tend to be a volunteer.
That's too
helping
bad.
to be the coordinator. I'll get there at some point. But, when I retire from being on the triathlon board, more than likely.
All right, Gordon Pfeffer, thank you so very much for coming in today, and good luck with the triathlon.
Thanks much.
That'll be $7.99, paper or plastic. No, so you can't use the bananas to pay for the bananas. That's not how capitalism works. You're going to need money. I don't care if you are wearing a hat, you need money. Hey, don't take that Get down from there. Drop those bananas. It's a monkey in a hat. 2 hours of punk rock. Saturday nights from 10 to midnight only on KFUG Community Radio.